una cosa. Hello everybody and welcome to the final of the EU Africa, the post-crisis journey hackathon. We're here in Palo Alto Club, the home of Garage 48, and we're very excited to play the top teams from this massive hackathon. We started off, I don't even remember how long ago it was, but we started off Thursday?
Thursday, yeah, it feels like a month ago.
It feels like it was a month ago, and we had such a tremendous amount of energy and excitement.
And now it's all gone.
It's not all gone yet. We're getting there. But just to give you a bit of a frame of how we started this and how many teams we had working online, Mari, do you want to do a recap on the numbers?
Yeah, sure. So I think we chose around 315 best teams that were going to compete during the hackathon. But like on any journey, you know, the weakest ones drop and the strongest ones like make it. So we also had some of the teams that couldn't follow the whole event and couldn't follow all the checkpoints, couldn't attend, didn't upload the final demo. So I think we ended around 260 final demos at the end.
Yeah, and I checked on the Slack. I think we had close to 2,400 people active on Slack. Many of them are joining us now for this live to check out whether they made it. If you're watching this through Facebook, make sure to comment. Let us know where in the world are you watching this, in Africa, in Europe, in many other parts of the world, and definitely share this with your family, share this with your friends, because you might walk out of this hackathon as a winner. Be proud of the work that you did, so share it with your friends to make sure that they watch your demo being selected to the top final. And don't forget, there is a quite significant prize pool at stake here, 100,000 euros. We'll talk about that in a second. What's also important to notice is that this EU Africa, the post-crisis journey, was an effort from a lot of people, a lot of organizations. Let's talk a little bit about all the effort that was put together in this event.
All right. Yes, that's true. It was truly African-European collaboration. It started off by Estonian Minister of Foreign Affairs initiating everything, and soon African Union got on board. Lots of development cooperations all across different continents, all across Europe, Luxembourg, Polish aid, Irish aid, Finnish Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Then we had European Investment Bank, GMZ and GIZ there as well. And on the content, Smart Africa helped us to pull together the most important 11 topic areas of the whole African continent.
Yeah, so first of all, a big thanks to all the people who gathered, all the support that we got from a lot of partners in Europe and elsewhere to get this show going. Not just the monetary support, but also the support in terms of picking the topics, of making sure that we had the right angle at which to approach this for all the teams. We had 11 different topics. The teams were working very hard on 11 different topics. And as this says right behind me, this wasn't just a hackathon. So we also had an extensive online program of panel discussions where we were covering a lot of those topics. Mari was moderating a few,
yeah.
I was moderating a few. We also had Yusuf in Uganda moderating a few, and then our own Buya here moderating a couple. One of them was today on financial services. So that was also quite exciting to see a lot of people watching it. But what we're going to do now, what we're going to do today, is talk about the top teams. So you have already submitted your demos, you have already uploaded your videos. I'm sure you cannot wait for the show to get going and the videos to be shown. So how is this going to work? A lot of the teams are now on Zoom. They're waiting to see if they got selected to the top 20. We also have a distinguished jury which we should also introduce, and after each video gets shown, so your 2-minute video, the jury will get some time to ask you a couple of questions. So if you see your video being shown, that means you made it to the top 20. And if you are going to answer questions, and we can see how many of you are there on Zoom, if you made it to the top 20, then when it's time for you to answer your questions, if you can, if the connection is good enough, try to turn on your camera. I know that it's not always easy. with some internet connection issues. But if you can, then do that. And maybe, Mari, tell us a little bit about the jury.
Yes, we would like to now introduce the very honorable jury. It's funny that you picked me to introduce it because I'm also one of the jury members. But Raido, can we have a jury picture here on the background as well? On the jury, we have Anthony Reitel, who's the Deputy Director of Kavtech Polska. We have Ferreira Maria Luisa, who is an economic advisor and head of the European Investment Bank's social program. We have Mr. Lambit Law, who is Europe-Africa G4DAUB, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Estonia representative. We have Peter Westerbacka, who is the founder of Angry Birds, Finnish Bay Area. And then we have Paul Weber, the Digital for Development Private Sector Engagement in Government of the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg.
So these, and we also have Mari Hanikat, the CEO of Garage 48, and
voting here on the stage. But the rest of the jury members, now each of them has a very separate and a private jury sheet. They're also joining you over the Zoom call. So we each of us will put together these votes. We will look now at the top 20 demos, and you will find out whether you made it to the top 20 or not. Then the jury gets to ask a question from every team, and you will have to be ready to answer these questions over the Zoom when you see that your video is being played.
Yeah, and basically the criteria the jury is going to be looking at is, number one, the team. Is the team strong enough? Are they going to continue working after this? Do they have all the needed skills? Number two, the work that they did during the 72 hours. Were they doing a prototype? Were they working collectively? Did they make progress over the 72 hours? Number three, the impact that the project is going to have on the problem that they're trying to tackle, and have they managed to figure out how to continue working on this after the hackathon? So have they managed to find out a sustainable business model? Number four is the demo itself. So is the demo good enough? Were they able to explain during the demo what is it that they're trying to do, and is it clear enough for everyone? So those are the four criteria that the honorable jury is going to look at and make a decision. And like I said, there's 100,000 euros at stake here. We will let you know how we're going to split that perhaps at the award ceremony.
Don't worry, we're not going to keep it. It's gonna be split between all of you.
So I see a lot of excited faces on Zoom, a lot of people waiting to see if their project made it to the top 20. Before we get the show on the road, I just want to say that if you didn't make it to the top 20, do not be disappointed, okay? Because the quality was immense. I was in some of the decisions in the jury rooms to get to the top 20, and it was not easy, okay? There were a lot of good projects in many, many different categories. So if you did not make it to the top 20, do not be disappointed, okay? Keep working hard on your projects. It doesn't mean that it's not good enough. It's just that the quality level here was insanely good. So many good projects from all across Europe and Africa. But
No, I just wanted to say the same, like encouraging words to everybody who participated. Sharp previously pointed out that it's not just a hackathon, it was also a conference. But that's not actually what that slogan stood for. It's not for a conference and a hackathon. The journey and itself is more about what happens later as well. So it will be also a longer follow-up program after the end of the hackathon. And actually, because we also looked at top 3 or 4 in every single category, we're going to look at these ideas again, and perhaps more of you can enter to the follow-up program as well.
Exactly. So having said that, let's get the show on the road, and let's start announcing the teams that made it to the top 20. And we'll start up with one project called, are you guys ready? Agro 360, team 1020. Let's look at their video.
Welcome to Agro 360 Hub. Every year, 20 to 40% of global crop yields are lost just due to pests and diseases. In Africa, over 30 million smallholder farmers experience crop yield losses even before harvest due to production inefficiencies. Our solution, which we built during this hackathon, is a crop monitoring app powered by satellite imagery. With this app, farmers can track plant and soil health and anticipate diseases, pest infestation, and bushfires, and also discover agricultural support services to respond rapidly to these threats. Nkrabea farms can access their dashboard on Agro360 Hub. They can check the soil fertility of their farm ahead of the farming season. After planting, they can monitor the crop's health and provide rapid response to early pest and disease attacks through Agro360's services discovery. They can receive early warnings of bushfire, crop growth, and in the midst of climate change. Agro360 provides a freemium model to farmers and a data as a service to governments and organizations interested in the aggregated farm data, whether to inform policy decisions or research. This app will be a revolution in the agro industry as it will assist farmers at better decision making and resource allocation. Our roadmap for the future will be market deployment, connecting farmers to investors using data from farms, and expanding our market size. We are a multidisciplinary team with experiences in GIS, geographic information systems, aerospace engineering, data science and artificial intelligence, software engineering, business, and sales. At Agro360, we are on a mission to empower every smallholder farmer with crop yield insights and conquer production inefficiencies in the world. With Agro360, the agricultural revolution has just begun.
Much Agro360. Thank you for that presentation. Now let's go to the jury, see if we have some questions for this team. Jury members, any questions? Peter, you have a question?
Yeah. So where are you actually in development of this solution? So like, when is it ready, or at what stage are you?
Okay, so for the purposes of the hackathon, we integrated data from Sentinel Hub to show the insights that we could deliver to the end user, which is the farmer. But for us to develop the actual product, that will take us about a 6-month period. But the other good thing for us also is that we were able to obtain some machine learning data sets. So during the hackathon, we actually requested for some data sets from some organizations. And you notice it will take a longer time to train these models and then provide further insight to the product. So for the rest of the 48 hours, we built a web application. It's accessible at agro360.netlify.app. But hopefully, if we win, we would want to continue developing the full-scale timeline of the product and test it, deploy it to the market so that these farmers could actually benefit from the solution.
Anthony, Luisa?
Yeah, I was just going to ask a quick question, which is, who's going to pay for the app? Are you thinking about a subscription model where the farmers will pay, or will be with a partnership with insurance firms, for example?
Yeah, so we have two major customer segments. The first one you've clearly identified as the farmers. So with the farmers, we are using a freemium model. And basically what we want to achieve is, notice for smallholder farmers, they have farms of 2 hectares and below. So how we want to roll it out is that if the person is a smallholder farmer, they can actually use the platform for free. But as if they have larger farms beyond that, then we can start charging something little for the services that we are providing. Another insight we got during our research was that actually smallholder farmers have access to land greater than 2 hectares. But because of the lack of access to capital, they are not able to further or cultivate those other lands. And our goal also is that with the data that we are aggregating, it is going to provide a form of digital collateral for the smallholder farmer to be able to use that to access other forms of investments, such as crowdfunding. For the research organizations, what happens is that, so for instance, here in Ghana, there are efforts from the Ministry of Food and Agriculture to more or less provide insights or in terms of what is happening to farmers, to understand exactly what the problem is and to roll out subsidies and programs. So with our data as a service API, they could actually gather all the data or like as much data as they can from the farmers, looking at the insights from our machine learning models. And the hope is that with something like that, it will be able to inform them on policy in terms of directives for farmers and what the future holds. There are also research organizations that also want to provide some
We
data.
have to move on.
You're muted, I think.
Thank you so much. We have to unfortunately move on. We have a pace. Thank you, Agro360. Okay. Thank you for congratulations for making it to the final top 20. And we're going to move on with the next demo. The next one on the line is Team 504, and it's called ElimYouTube Africa.
Hello, my name is George Kilimali, and I'm the team lead at ElimYouTube Africa. At ElimYouTube Africa, we are addressing the problem of more than 240 million youth in Africa who are unemployed or employed vulnerably due to mismatching skills, while traditional skills training are limited to few due to time and high cost factor. ElimYouTube is an on-demand visual learning platform for personal and professional development of youth in Africa. ElimYouTube gives passionate local experts and leaders the tools and ability to create the content, and the platform matches this content intelligently to the users in search of new knowledge. How our platform works is simple. User can register themselves quickly, log into the platform, choose the course they need, pay a one-time fee for one course or a monthly subscription to access as many courses as they want, self-evaluate using the inbuilt interactive quizzes, or join the course's specific community group for further peer support. On the other hand, instructor can create unlimited number of courses and quizzes in any major language of their choice, review individual student performance, and most importantly, earn some extra cash on every course they are sold. Just for the past 72 hours, we already achieved the fully functioning platform, interviewed 25 youth and instructor, signed up 10 local instructor, built 3 courses on digital skills, entrepreneurship, and computer application, and most importantly, we already signed up 43 youth and 60% of them are paying users. We need to take this further, and by that, we need your help. Please join us as a strategic partner or a funding partner. You are welcome to see our platform live at www.elimtube.africa. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, ElimYouTube, for that. Let's go to the jury now with questions, and Mari has a question here in the studio.
Yes, I do have a question. I think it's a great idea, and I've seen lots of similar ideas like this popping up at different hackathons, at different places all around the world. And my question to you is, how are you going to market it? How are you going to make sure that the users are aware that your platform is there? Like, what's your plan for that, for the outreach and getting the users there?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mariam. So this is George from ElimYouTube Africa, and our model is simple because we are targeting youth. Most of them are either in secondary schools, university, recent graduates, or youth who are doing business, are entrepreneurs. So for us, we are targeting to do like door-to-door outreach, mostly targeting the users, for example, youth in university, where we can do some events, we can do some meetups and all that stuff. But of course, since it's a digital product, we are also wanting to leverage the power of digital marketing. And of course, one of the causes which has been generating a lot of interest has been the digital marketing causes. So we are also going to leverage that to make sure that we can reach as many students, as many youth as possible.
Thank you. And I think, Lembit, you had a question?
Yes, thank you. Good presentation, and greetings to everybody in the effort. My question it kind of follows up on what Mari said. There are so many different content platform providers and education sector tools. So how do you really differentiate yourself? What makes you so different that everybody will want to join your platform? Thank you.
Sure. So one of the very unique facts about our platform is two ways. Like one of them is on the user side, meaning that on the youth side, like we provide access to most local relevant, but also interactive learning content. So users can get access to very relevant content. So they can be in any major language, as I said. It can be in Swahili, it can be in English, in French, or any other major language. So that on the user side. But on the instructor side, we also provide a room for people to generate some revenue. So if you are an expert, you are a teacher, you are an instructor, you are a trainer, or you are a community leader, you can create the content on our platform, and easily we can match this content to the people who actually need the content. So for us, like we provide a room for instructors to earn some extra income, but also for people in community, for the youth to get the skill they need.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Team 504 LME Tube. Now it's time to move on to the next one. The next one, just for the jury, we're going to skip one team because they haven't joined the Zoom yet. So we're going to skip one team. We're going to go to Team 112. That is Grey Armor Web Application Security. 112 Grey Armor Web Application Security.
I'm Emmanuel Chagara, and we are Team Grey Armor from Uganda. Hi. When the world went into lockdown, many agile businesses across Africa quickly adopted digital solutions as a critical strategy for resilience. What they didn't have in mind was the escalated cyber threats that this advent was fueling. Did you know that there was a 57% spike in cyber attacks across the African region over the last 8 months, and that over 100,000 websites are being hacked daily across Africa? Our solution to this crisis is Grey Armor, a revolutionary web application security platform that allows small business owners to keep an eye on the security of their web platforms while continuing to revive their businesses post-COVID. With Grey Armor, a user can perform a self-assessment of their website for security vulnerabilities, request for instant support, and sign up for long-term monitoring and surveillance manned by our highly skilled security team. We are inside the dashboard. With this, I have several features for the system. I'm going to perform a file scan where I look for a file. I have 2 files, file 1 and 2. I don't know which one of them is malicious, so I'm going to come and upload file 1, and then I'm going to scan it. So when I come here and I perform a scan, I'm able to tell that this file is malicious because it has suspicious content in it. If I come here and upload another file, file 2, it's able to tell me that this file is clean. So these are some of the ways in which you can do a file analysis to look out for vulnerabilities. Other issues can also be to do a general domain scan. And there we are with the final report. We are building Grey Armor with the small business owner in mind. And this is why we are keeping our pricings as affordable as possible. We're looking to launch the product to the market by June 2021 with an initial focus of Uganda and East Africa. We are supported by a strong team of skilled software developers and security researchers, and with this we are set to build a cyber-safe Africa. Join us!
All right, well done, Team 112, Grey Armor Web Application Security. Congratulations on making it to the top 20. And let's see now questions from the jury. Anthony, you had a question?
Yes, thank you. So my first question would be, how is this solution of yours different than popular apps such as VirusTotal or similar? And the second question is, how do you make sure that the threat base is up to date? What's your source of data, of information?
So we are doing this in 2 formats. One, we have actually, we are looking out for partnership with Komodo Sea Watch, which we are looking to work with them in terms of threat intelligence. In this way, we can continuously improve our database for the latest virus details. VirusTotal, on the other hand, we have actually leveraged on their resources quite a lot. But the difference between them and us is that we are building these solutions focusing on web applications with several of the African businesses that we've worked with. VirusTotal is quite a good product, but ours is going to be advanced in the sense that we have designed it with an African business partner in mind. Several of those tools that are online are quite very expensive for small businesses across Africa. And that's why if you observe our pricing model, it is very, very affordable. It is designed to appeal to a small business owner for them to stay in business even during the crisis. They're able to manage their incidents, they're able to respond quickly, and because we know them better.
All right, Paul, I think Paul had a question.
Yes, thank you very much. So first of all, I want to thank you for your presentation. It was very good work, and it looks like you have a very advanced product. But actually, my question was kind of the same that the questions already answered. Also, I believe this is a very competitive sector, and therefore my question was, how do you think you can compete with the big players in that sector? But I do see that you already mentioned in your answer this topic. Thank you.
Thank you.
A question? Louise, I saw that you had your hand up. I don't know if you still want to ask or it's... No? Okay. Lembit, is it for this team?
It was the same question, the competition, so...
Maybe just to add on to that, I know the concern around competition is quite a strong one. But one of the things that we are looking to invest a lot of our time in is our research and development. The threats that we are dealing with every day are not unique. These are internet-based threats that they cut across boundaries. But at the same time, the stronger our R&D team, the better our capacity to keep improving our threat intelligence databases. So with that, I'm quite confident that given a significant amount of time, maybe 24 months, we should be able to have a very strong database with all the emerging threats and doing the signatures as required for the various vulnerabilities. So my biggest confidence is in our R&D team. They're strong enough and they're able to keep improving the databases.
All right. Thank you very much, Team 112 Grey Armor Web Application Security for that. And it's time to move on with the show and give you the next team who also makes it to the top 20 at this hackathon. And that is Team 827, Keza 3D Game by Dope Apps. Let's go.
Hello, this is Keza 3D Game from Dope Apps. In Rwanda, 1 out of 5 girls gets pregnant before the age of 19. And during the pandemic, the number doubled itself, close to 2 out of 5 girls. And it's a big threat to our country. For our first-time mothers, 19% of them gets pregnant again due to the lack of the right information on sexual and reproductive health. Keza 3D Game brings the right information on sexual and reproductive health in a user-friendly endless run again.
Our impact will be helping the people affected by teenage pregnancy by selling some of their products and helping them financially. Another impact that we'll be having is educating youth in a very friendly way, both male and female. And lastly, we'll be trying to teach information about teenage pregnancy and HIV in all various manners. Thank you. Our plan for the future is creating more features that are helping our game, trying to solve our main issue, which is teenage pregnancy. And we may add things like drug abuse and very many more. Did you know that a girl gets pregnant once a year?
But a boy can impregnate 1,000 girls in a year, which is why we are engaging the men.
Hey, so this is the Keza 3D Game team from Dope Apps, and I'm Robert Mugisha, the bottom art director. Next to me is Ben, the graphic and motions guy, and our CEO, Miss Gael, and on the far end is Abdul, the full stack developer.
Go
Keza!
All right. Well done, Team Keza. Let's now go to the jury for some questions, and Team Keza, get ready to answer. Who has questions for this team? Peter Westerbakke?
Yeah. So could you share a little bit like what you did during the hackathon around this game?
Yes, of course. Here or oh, we did. So we will be having four things on the menu: the gameplay, and we managed to make the Keza run. And we will be having a chatbot, which we did not work on it, but we did work on the Keza quiz, which is ready to play the quiz and answer different questions on sexual and reproductive health. And we have also our Keza eShop ready, where you can go and search. We have products which are different contraceptive but also we have the other parts of the products that are made by the teens who got pregnant that want to feed their children. So most of them are from rural areas. They don't have access to this e-commerce, so we gave them a platform. We'll be giving them a platform to sell their products online. Thank you.
All right, Louisa?
Sorry. Yes, I have a question which is the target users. You're talking about teen pregnancy. Is your game, at least in the first phase, targeting the teens, or are you planning to start first? And how, as you were mentioning now, you have the rural population. These kids, if they want to buy some of the things, they will need the parents' money. How are you thinking about integrating the stakeholder parents in the equation?
Well, thank you. For the first time, we'll be starting with our freemium version, where we want to work with our Ministry of Education and Ministry of Health to put this game in schools. We have the ICT hour where they play normal games, but after this partnership, they'll be playing our educative game during that ICT hour. And for the kids, it will be free from school. It will be a freemium version for our first year. But for the second year, we plan, after the user acquisitions, of course, we'll be planning for the subscription fee, which is $1 per month. And the parents also will be advertising or mobilizing for the parents to pay for their kids and interact with their kids in a fun way to approach their kids by learning at the same time on sexual and reproductive health.
All right, well done, Team Keza 3D game by Dope Apps. It's time to move on to the next one. The next team who makes it to the top 20 in this hackathon is Team 308 Kotani Pay.
Hello, my name is Mandela from Kotani Pay. The problem. Joan is a 24-year-old freelancer who gets paid from the US in cryptocurrency. Joan is part of the informal sector, which makes up 85% of employment in Africa. She's also one of the 440 million mobile phone users who do not have a smartphone or access to PayPal or Visa. The solution. Kotani Pay enables Joan to withdraw her funds from the blockchain to her mobile money account on her SIM card. To do this, Joan keys in *483*354#. She gets a menu and selects the withdraw option. She enters the amount she would like to withdraw and enters her PIN. Shortly, she receives a confirmation that her transaction is being processed. Within 30 seconds, she receives a confirmation from her mobile money provider showing her updated balance. She can track the transaction on the blockchain using the link sent via SMS. We are a B2B2C business, charging a 2% fee on the value transacted. Our solution will help increase financial inclusion, expand access to liquidity for small businesses, and offer alternative savings products. We are integrating with other mobile money networks in Africa and offering businesses our withdrawal APIs. Our team comprises of myself, Felix, Sam, and Brian. With your support, we can make financial inclusion affordable and accessible to everyone. Thank you.
Kotani Pay. All right, well done, Kotani Pay. Get ready to answer some questions from the jury. And let's see from the jury who has questions. Lembit?
My question is, which financial institutions are you already working with, or with whom are you validating the idea? Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. So I'm Felix from Kotani Pay. We are already integrated with a local bank here in Kenya called Equity Bank. It has about a reach of 6 countries within East Africa. So we are hoping to scale on top of Equity Bank. We also integrated to the local mobile money provider, that is M-Pesa.
If everybody understood that, I don't know if it was just us in the studio. Lembit, did you get the answer you were looking for?
Yes, the sound really dropped off at the end, but I think I got it. Thank you.
Anthony, you had a question?
Yes, so I was wondering, what is the target audience of the solution, and if and whatever this target audience is, then what's your strategy of getting through to this audience to convince them to use your app rather than some other solution on the market?
Okay, I hope you can hear me. Our strategy is a B2B strategy. So we work with businesses that are using cryptocurrencies as a means of payment to the continent. So one of the clients we have acquired is a microtask platform called Toka. It pays its freelancer workers through cryptocurrencies, and they can exit using Kotani Pay's technology to their local fiat currencies. So we are B2B2C business.
All right, let's move on. Thank you.
Yes, let's move on with the next team. And the next one in the lineup is team 815, Medident.
Well done. Let's look at the video.
Hello everyone, I'm Elliot from Team Medident, and since April this year I've been volunteering at my local hospital as part of the COVID-19 response team. Whilst volunteering, something became very clear, which is the sheer lack of accessibility to medical information, such as the patient's own treatment, what medication is available to them, and navigation to and from hospitals, which cause many people distress. So why isn't there already a succinct solution to this problem? Well, that's where Medident comes in. Medident is a phone application that functions as a hub for all of your medical needs, from contacting medical professionals, navigating to your nearest medical centre, and purchasing medication. For this hackathon, we implemented various functions, such as a full user journey of a patient seeking medical attention, all the way through to booking an appointment at a nearby hospital. We strive to make our app as user-friendly as possible because here at Medident we believe that nobody should be left out at all. We have spoken with a number of medical professionals who have assured us that an application such as Medident would be of great use within the healthcare field, especially within the current climate. And as for our business model, it's based on taking commission fees via the e-commerce pharmacy side of our application. In Medident's full glory, we hope to see the healthcare sector of Africa run smoother, with patients feeling comfortable knowing they have access to medical needs just a few taps away without money or distance becoming barriers. As for now, we have started off small by creating a case study within one city, which is Nairobi in Kenya. After the many cycles of user testing and further development, we aim to scale the application to cover multiple cities, and then countries, and then to make it a globally functioning application. After this hackathon concludes, the Medident team will push to establish a strong user base and to release an early access version of the application. We are aware of the digital divide and internet constraints within Africa, and so we plan to develop an offline version and alerts based on an SMS system. We want Medident to add to Africa's vibrant digital economy. Coronavirus has been a strong wake-up call, and we are transforming the crisis into an opportunity to change the world. Our story is so much more than this mobile application, and this pitch is just the beginning.
Thank you, Medident. Let's get ready to answer some questions from the jury. Anthony, you have your hand up. Is it for this team or? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was wondering if you could elaborate more on this testing and medical professionals that you spoke with that validated the usability of your app. Could you sort of tell us a bit more about who you spoke to and what they identified as the main perks of your solution?
Sure, absolutely. So we were lucky enough on our team to have someone that was a medical professional in Nairobi, so that's why we based our case study in that city, because that's where they had the most medical experience, because I'm over here in the UK and I don't really know that much about it over there. So that was brilliant. It was interesting because at one point they had to leave for a day because they had to perform an emergency cesarean on someone. So that just shows like the broad scope of our team. So they said that they showed it to some of their colleagues at work, and they were saying that things such as so we created a COVID triage to make sure that that was taken care of in the process, so that people were aware of the symptoms that they had before they requested an appointment. And that was something they needed to push and to make sure that it was user friendly, because I think that, especially myself, I take for granted. So I feel like I've got access to it and I'm lucky enough to do that, whereas something over there, they need to be able to use the app. So it's great if it's functional and it all works, but if no one knows how to use it, then that's that we needed to work on. So that's why the usability was an important feature.
All right, Paul, I think you had a question.
Yes, thank you very much. So unfortunately, I couldn't hear the first minute of your presentation, so you might already answered it, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. I think you need very strong partners in the healthcare sector. Have you approached any, and who are you planning on working with?
Unfortunately not yet, just because it was a small scope and it was trying to, again, something that was a factor of our team that we hadn't thought about is time difference. So it was difficult to try and converse with a team that's over in Africa. But I think it was mainly, that's why we thought if we started off with a small case study so we could focus on local pharmacies and medical centers. And so we'd probably need somebody to help us reach out and to get that client base first. And if that system then works, then we've got a case study that we can pitch essentially, and we can broaden the scope. And so we can either then shift it to more cities, and then hopefully, as we're saying, progress it even further and further. So I'm confident that it should work, but it's like trial and error, testing back and forth until we're sure that it's a sustainable feature.
All right, thank you very much for that, Medident. Let's now move on to the next team. And the next team who made it to the top 20 is, do you want to announce it?
Yes, it's team number 321, Ndovo.
Hi, my name is Radhika from Ndovo, a micro-investment platform that provides easy access to financial markets. There is currently $85 billion sitting in savings accounts across Africa. This is a problem because African countries have high rates of inflation, which means Africans are losing purchasing power over time. 3 reasons why Africans don't invest is they don't know where to start and lack advice, the existing process is complicated, and they lack access because of high minimums required to invest. Our solution provides advice, education, and easy access to financial markets. Our MVP, built during this hackathon, asks our users a series of questions that you can see on the screen. Our algorithms then use this information to assign each customer with a unique investment strategy, as seen on the screen here. We use this MVP to test the ease of use. The feedback received from our users is that 2 out of the 6 questions are difficult to understand. However, overall, the user experience is very easy. In terms of traction, prior to the hackathon, we signed 100 customers with $110,000 committed using an early access campaign. During the hackathon, we signed 70 customers whilst testing the MVP. We have signed 1 investment manager and are speaking to 4 others. In terms of distribution partners, we've signed partnerships with the likes of Microsoft, Uber, and others, giving us access to over 535,000 potential users. We have 2 revenue streams. Our customers pay us $25 as an account fee, and we earn 1.5% commission on every dollar that gets invested. Our solution contributes to the financial inclusion, allowing people to save and invest, leading to a better financial future. Our team has 45 years of experience in financial industries, as well as building and scaling tech, and together we have the right skills to execute our vision. Thank you.
Right, Team Ndovo. Who wants to ask some questions to this team? Lembit?
Yes, thank you. What will the next 3 months look like? What will your team do and accomplish? Thanks.
Hi, yeah, so the next 3 months, we are building and testing our user journey. So like we did on the hackathon, but really putting it behind in actual code. We will then also build further partnerships with banks, institutional channels to distribute our product, really build a community around investments. And we've also applied to the regulatory sandbox to make sure that we're operating under legal guidance.
All right. Any more questions from the jury? Mari, do you have a question to this team?
No, not at the moment. I'm sorry.
Paul, you have a question.
Yes, maybe I could jump in for a second. So I think this is a very regulated market. And do you think you will have what it takes to get all the authorizations to be able to compete and to run your application?
Yeah, so we do. So to begin with, our team has really strong networks already. They've worked with the regulator, but we have a plan B. If we don't get regulation, we can simply be a digital agent where we don't need a license. Also, we're partnering with fund managers who already have the license so that to begin with, if we don't get the license, we're cool. But the actual truth is that in Kenya, the fintech spaces are quite new and the regulators encouraging new companies to come up. And so they've created this sandbox that is a safe space for companies to come in and build their process. We should hear back in 3 weeks. And so we as a team do feel strongly that we will be able to get our regulation. And if not, we have a plan B.
Team Nudovu, 321. Let's move on to the next one, which is Team 510, NGO Mondo.
Hi, my name is Alina. I am from NGO Mondo's team, and today I will present to you built in a way our hackathon team has built an educational progressive web app that's accessible on desktop and mobile through the internet, but it is built in a way that allows for the main features to remain working even when the connection fails. The app gives refugee youth digital skills they need to make the internet work for them. The youth who might have never touched a smart device before will learn to create user accounts, stay safe online, search for relevant information, use professional tools, take photos with the smartphone, and use design thinking to find a business niche. As an additional future development, the app will also use near-field communication to create local connections between devices in the classroom to enable learners to practice online collaboration and share their homework and test results with the teachers. Our hackathon team consists of NGO employees from Estonia and 2 highly motivated developers from Uganda. The learning content of the app was created before the hackathon. The current app development is based on our team's work and research in refugee settlements. We have also researched the market, fine-tuning our services to fit the needs of global aid NGOs in need of innovational education programs. We have listened to the needs of both ends at the market, analyzed, planned, and now joined hands with skilled developers to bring our ideas to life. The world's refugee youth don't have the time to wait for a website to load. They need education now, and we are here to provide it.
All right, well done, Team NGO Mondo. Let's go to the jury now for questions. Paul, I see that you have your hand up. I don't know if it's for this team or the previous one.
Well, actually, it was the previous one, but I still have a question. So,
all right, anyway, go for it.
How do you think you can finance this application? So, what's your financing model?
Thanks for the question, and thank you very much for choosing us. Also, we are an NGO, so we work in partnership with other partner NGOs in the field. Right now, our plan is to be funded by grants and by bigger NGOs who need the innovation programs in their education systems. So we are small and agile, and we can provide innovation where bigger NGOs have a hard time of bringing in the newer solutions. So we are planning to, of course, continue finding funds on our own also, but at the same time search for partnerships with bigger NGOs who have their own partner funders.
All right, Anthony, you had a question?
Yeah, so one thing I was wondering is what is the work you do on the back end? So is there any sort of content quality management? Is there a quality assurance system? Is there something sort of, aside from uploading and presenting? So what's the basically content selection policy you have in mind?
So it's actually based on an existing study program that we have been using already in refugee camps. We've been piloting it. We've been collecting feedback and collecting a lot of data on how the refugee youth are learning and what's their progress and kind of is it suitable, and doing also interviews, focus group interviews with people who have been going through the program. And based on that, we are designing and continuously improving the program. So that's our quality management, collecting feedback from the field and adjusting based on that.
All right, good work and good progress to Team NGO Mondo. Let's go to the next one, which is going to be Team 725, OHMNI.
Hello, I'm Petra from Omni Cameroon. We have a problem of pedagogical discontinuity during period of crisis in our country due to the lack of adequately trained teachers. In Cameroon, many distance learning systems have been put in place but are inefficient because of lack of electricity and access to internet in many parts of our country. Omni is the distance learning platform that ensures educational continuity in the event of physical absence of qualified teachers. It is associated with portable solar-powered nano-servers called OmniKids. Omni allows students to interact remotely with their teachers who easily create and store lessons and exercises, which can be viewed by the students using their smartphones, their TV screens, and their computers. Omni also allows students without internet and electricity to continue to receive their lessons and guidance. The students just need to be near an Omni, connected with a Wi-Fi or a Bluetooth. The content can be copied into a USB stick for later use. Students and teachers will subscribe for our platform, and we shall be selling the Omni Kids to schools and community organizations. We plan to interview with more potential customers, develop our MVP, and launch our products. 100% of our team is made up of teachers with strong skills in web and mobile development, data analysis, designing, and accounting. I'd love to say that problems are golden opportunities with tons on them, and COVID-19 is no exception to this. Empowering our educational system with the use of technology is a better way to respond to the ills brought about by COVID-19, and the best way to grab the opportunities that come with the ill. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Team 725. Let's now go to the jury for question. Luisa?
Sorry, I was on mute, yes. A question which was not, it's more a clarification. Is there an interaction between the teachers and the students that will be on the app? And the second one is, how much have you learned from, with the COVID-19, where in many cases kids were having lessons from home, to integrate in the app?
Thank you, Lisa. I would like to start with the first question. Please, I would need you to repeat the first question again.
My first question was, you have an app, and I understood, it's a clarification question. It's not clear for me if, as a student and the user of the app, if I have some moments of interaction with the teachers, live moments.
Sure, you have live moments with the teachers, especially if you are connected to the internet. You have live moments if you're connected to the internet. You can ask questions to the teachers. which you have your response, as if it were on WhatsApp, on Facebook, yes, like on any other social media. But that is if you are connected on internet. Yeah. Because the other one where you will not have a direct connection is when you are using the nano server, the OmniKit, in a zone where you are not connected to the internet. So you can read, you can get the information, put it in your stick, USB stick, and then when you are connected to the internet, you can send your questions, and then later on you will get back your feedback. The second question, please. I hope I have clarified.
Louisa, you had a follow-up or?
No, the second question was in terms of what were the learnings from the COVID-19 crisis, where students were already at home and trying to access means of studying by digital. How have you integrated that learning on the user journey in the app that you are proposing here?
Sure, we have added. It's just like any other e-learning or distance learning app, but the specificity about our OmniBook or the OmniKit is that it has a device which we call here the OmniKit, which differentiates in the sense that students can have access to their lessons and guidance out of network, that is internet connection, or without electricity. And then it is interactive, just like during the COVID period. Students were at home, just very few of them even could really benefit from the distance learning because most of them are found in the zones that are deprived of electricity and internet. That's the major problem that we face here.
Very quickly, one question from Lembit.
Existing in the country.
Lembit, very quickly, one quick question.
So the innovation that our platform is bringing is the OmniKit.
Lembit, you have one question?
Yes, yes, I do. It looks like there's quite a bit of development done on hardware side, software side, and content. So what exactly was accomplished over the weekend?
Hello.
What did you accomplish during the weekend?
What is, Lambert, please, could you come over again?
Yes, what was accomplished over the weekend?
So what did you build?
Over the weekend, we tried to, yes, over the weekend, we tried to assemble our OmniKit, and then we rounded up with our prototype, and then we succeeded in integrating our platform into our OmniKit. That's what we accomplished, and we are still hoping to do better to get in touch with more prospective users so that we can introduce our products.
All right. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
See, Team 725 Omni. And let's move on to the next one. The next one who makes it to the top 20 is Team 624 Padshare. Let's look at their video.
My name is Sandra Awili, a social innovator from Uganda. As a teen and an adult, I have struggled to access and afford menstrual hygiene essentials that made it difficult to maintain my confidence and compete favorably at work and school. Just like me, countless women all over the world lose trillions in productive hours, risk exploitation and infection. Periods do not stop for pandemics. Period poverty is the world's biggest solvable problem. Our solution? Sharing. By building a digitally empowered ecosystem that caters to both donors and the beneficiaries, we have been able to digitize an old age tradition women have forever used to support each other during menstruation, allowing its impact to be far-reaching with the help of a Padshare mobile app and a pod card. Before the hackathon, it was just an idea. We have been able to build an initial prototype of our user app and a beneficiary card. On downloading the app, registering a Padshare profile, the digital community is able to contribute resources that will support girls near and far. Girls are then able to access these donations using their cards. We will seek out partnerships with individuals, institutions, and companies with the CSR budgets supporting women. We enable them reach their target communities with real-time accountability and reduced cost of mobilization as an added advantage. With less holding us back, women are able to dedicate time to growing and empowering themselves. The world's recovery journey is heavily dependent on uninterrupted contribution of women to our economy. We want to be able to scale the PadShare platform into a global community, enabling giving to the most basic of necessities across the globe. My team, Joshua and Isaac as my developers, we all believe that support without exposure is possible. Support PadShare, support women, support the global recovery. Give us one less thing to worry about.
All right, well done for that, PadShare. Let's now go to the jury for questions. Mari, you have a question?
I do have a question. It's an important topic. It's tackled all over and over again through different sorts of solutions. And as I understand correctly, your solution is tackling more the issue of poverty of this marginalized population. So you want to raise funds to help them. This was very clear. But what was unclear is the logistical part, or like how are you gonna sort of divide the funds? Or what are you going to do after when you have these contributions? That's my question.
Thank you very much. This is very exciting for us. I'm very happy that we've been able to make it through. So to raise funds, we are focusing on businesses and corporate entities that actually have a CSR budget and have been struggling to offload that budget and, you know, spend it in the different communities because people are social distancing, they can't mobilize people in their communities. So we take that burden away from them and also offer them access to the people that they are targeting. If they're looking to empower women and provide for young girls, those are the people that that's how we intend to raise money. But also the ecosystem that we are looking to build is going to be self-sustaining in that people have create profiles, they interact with each other, they create teams, they develop causes within the ecosystem to help further the cause and support more girls. They are also able to see progress on the type of impact they have been able to have on the communities that they have chosen to support. It's been a passion for me. I'm still figuring out the kinks and how to implement in the societies, but I feel like the partnerships that I've identified, the people that I'm working with are very willing to help me figure that out. So
very cool, very cool. Let's maybe now go to the jury online. Peter Westerbacka.
Yeah, I had actually very much the same question. So that was a good answer. But yeah, so very polished, presentation and like the app and everything looks very polished. So what did you achieve during the hackathon itself now? So that would be interesting to know.
Okay. So when I entered the hackathon, I've been working on this idea by myself since March 2019. Just trying to conceptualize and understand how best to implement. I've only been able to do graphic designs of how I want the app to look, working on the branding. It's only during the hackathon that I was able to connect with people who share the same passion and vision for helping girls and enabling women do more in their communities. The people I connected with, Shaka, he's connecting me to a community in Kisenyi. His center serves about 3,500 girls. It's a community of 10,000 refugees. So that's going to be our test community. So during the hackathon, these people helped me come up with a prototype. They helped me look deeper into the idea and how best we can make it more sustainable, and how best to involve other people in the community to come together to support the cause and make sure that it is successful and sustainable as well.
All right. And I think, Louisa, you have a very quick question.
It's a very quick question, and it deals with sustainability, because, you know, in your app, you only had brands of plastic, you know, the disposable pads, and I'm just would like to know whether you consider now the alternatives that are becoming very sustainable alternatives for addressing the problem.
Protecting the environment is something that is also high on my priority in terms of the type of innovations that I'm working on. So hopefully using the app, we would be able to encourage girls to use more environmentally friendly means to manage their periods. And this is one way to enable them test the products. So partnering with organizations and manufacturers who have environmentally sustainable products for girls to manage their periods would be a great thing for us, because then we easily get to introduce the girls to the products and help them understand how best to use it. And then also it's a very easy navigation away from the everyday products that they have been using. Plus, environmentally sustainable, environmentally friendly products like menstrual cups. Personally, I have moved from using pads to using menstrual cups, and I know how environmentally friendly they are. Very less messy. It's easy for me to dispose of my personal waste, and it's also cheap. So if we are looking to sustain the project, we are looking to make sure that it runs long term, we will have to look for solutions that are cheap, one, and that also helps us save costs.
All right.
So yeah, that is also high on our priority.
Thank you so much for the answers. We're running out of time. Sorry to cut you short, but a very interesting project and a lot of progress. This is exactly what we want to see at events like this one. So let's go to the next team who makes it to the hackathon, and that is team, do you want to say it?
401 Ringolo.
Currently, there is basically no effective recycling program across West Africa. Ghana, for instance, generates about 22,000 metric tons of plastic waste annually, and less than 2% of this is recycled.
Hello there. The statement you just heard from Mr. Butter from Ghana is not only unique to West Africa, but cuts across sub-Saharan Africa. Our solution creates a pathway to introducing a sustainable circular economy in African cities, accessible to every individual as well as businesses, by making recycling fun and rewarding through the power of a smartphone or a web browser. Ringolo is a web-based platform with a dedicated mobile application that connects individuals we call disposers to a network of registered location points run by collectors such as businesses, and rewards them based on a points-based system. During this hackathon, we created a framework of our business model and created a workflow of how our application would function in the real world. Beyond the hackathon, we plan to finish our working prototype of our web application and also gain the interest and support of organizations such as Greenpeace and the United Nations Environmental Programme. We are in discussions with the African Plastic Recycling Alliance on how we could work together with them on creating a platform that serves its goals. Our income stems by offering our users exclusive discount deals based on points collected. We also generate added revenue by selling recyclable inputs to recycling plants locally in areas where we operate. With Ringolo, trash ceases to be just trash. Trash becomes treasure.
All right, nice final words there. Anthony, you have a question for the team?
You mentioned that the funding and support model of your app will rely along collaboration with larger entities, and I was wondering how are you going to convince them that your application is the one they should support instead of other solutions which operate in a similar field?
Currently there are very informal methods of collecting recyclable waste, but these methods have not reached the masses. So with our platform, we are planning to use the social media as a way to gain attraction to our platform, and using this base of our registered users, also attract companies such as Nestle and Unilever that are currently in the African Plastic Recycling Alliance to join our platform, so we could reward users, or we could get users to be rewarded through recycling.
All right. I think, Louisa, you had a question? Or was it from the previous?
Yes, I have no question.
Okay. Let's see if anyone else has a question. Lembit?
Yes, two questions. Actually, one, did I miss the information about how big is your team and how dedicated are they going forward? And the other part of it is what the external parties have you already communicated with to validate the idea and drive it further? Thank you.
Yeah, I mentioned in the video that we're in discussion with the African Plastic Recycling Alliance. I got in touch with Mr. George, who is the representative for the company Diago in Ghana, because I'm personally from Ghana, so that was our way in. And we currently have all team members. We have consistent of three designers. We have two backend developers, and as well 2 business development teams.
All right. And I think, Paul, do you have a quick question?
Yes, actually, my question has already been answered. But maybe another one. So to me, this looks like the gamification of recycling, which is a very interesting idea. But how do you convince, or how do you want to convince users to keep using your application?
Yeah, using a way to keep users coming back to our application is enticing them with new deals from partners. Also, it's very important. One of our key, one of our key statutes is to gain partners who will be able to offer discounts. So, for instance, Nestle, Unilever, these products are very common across Africa. And if they are offering discounts or discount vouchers on their products, we'll be able to attract more users to use our platform to recycle the products. And these companies could also gain back through the recycling, the circular economy through the products we collect from the users. So they could use this as an input in their manufacturing systems again.
All right, Ringolo, that's all the time we have for questions, but thank you so much for that. And let's move on with the show. We are about halfway there. We're going to go now to the second half of the teams who made it to the top 20. So to start off, let's go to team 205, Safari Wallet. Let's look at their video.
My name is Zidi John. I'm a co-founder at Safari Wallet. Now, for decades, African tourism has been dominated by Western tour operators. Now, COVID-19 changed everything. Over 30 million international tourists have actually canceled their travel plans to Africa, and this might actually take longer. Meanwhile, the most affected with this challenge are actually small, medium tour operators, local guides who are depending on the gig economy, and those who are employed within the tourism sector, which majority are actually women. But surprisingly, over 20 million potential African travelers were left alone to find everything for themselves because no one thought they could actually become customers. Now, at Safari Wallet, we are providing economic opportunity to both local tour operators and local guides to actually host the trips on the platform and access a pool of local travelers who are using the platform to book pre-packed experiences or design their own experience. And more importantly, the platform allows them to pay slowly by installments. Our business model is very accommodative. We are taking 15% on each transaction that is done on the platform. Now, during the hackathon, we managed to hack a website, which can be found under www.safariwallet.com. The platform allows a user to find all listed trips. They can actually also design their own experience, and they have an opportunity of paying either choose a plan for weekly plan or monthly plan in order to accommodate their dream travel, which they can do in a span of at least 12 months. Now, we do guarantee that with this solution, we can actually secure at least 1,000 jobs by end of next year. Now, we also support small, medium sectors, as well as empower local guides and even women founders in travel and boosting domestic travel and promoting the culture of travel for Africans. Our plan is to launch our products by end of January with at least 10 partners. And we do believe that can be done with our team, which is multi-talented with skills in tourism, technology, and as well as finance. We do consider ourselves as a solution for this challenge. And thank you.
All right. Well done for that, Team Safari Wallet. Let's go now to the questions. And we have Mari here in the studio.
Yes, I love traveling. Can't wait to get back to it. But my question is, and perhaps I lost some of the demo as well, sorry for that if I'm repeating, but did you actually, like the prices there at the website that you built, they were quite steep. So did you, question is like, did you actually talk to the different travel providers as well? How much work did you manage to do on that behalf?
All right, thank you so much for your question. So number one, we've done actually the groundwork so far. I'll speak, this April, we participated on a program with UNDP, and they selected us, and they wanted to validate if the idea was actually, the problem was actually true. So we have been working with over 130 tour operators since April to August, and basically it was actually to validate the idea, and most of them who actually accepted and they wanted us, they're waiting for a solution to go live in order to use it. So basically it has been approved with tour operators, and we've also signed about 5 exclusive sales on tourism for locals, especially with rates for East Africans and Africans. And then on the question of the pricing, number one is whatever the price you see on the platform currently are actually dummy prices. But for local Africans, they're lower rates for them comparing to the international tourists, and that is clear.
I always think it's a bit bad that the prices for the international ones are higher, but what do you do?
For example, if I give you a good example, if an international tourist goes to a destination like Ngorongoro, which is a famous destination, a park fee for international tourists is actually $71. Meanwhile, a Tanzanian and East African, they're actually paying $5 just to check in that park. So you see the difference.
No, I know that. Yeah, I know that from my own experience as well. Thank you.
Peter Westerbacke?
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that was a lot of my questions also answered. And maybe if you could share a little bit more on the team. So I thought that looked like a very, very talented team. So maybe elaborate a little bit more on the team you have.
Great. All right, so I'll start with myself. I'm a software architect. I've been working with both technology and tourism sector for over 80 years. So I started working in tourism since 2012. Especially within the digital marketing. I'm an expert within SEO marketing. And then my co-founder, Patrick, has an MBA from Warwick University and a degree from Manchester. He has been working within the banking industry for over 10 years up to today. And with his network, we were able to actually even secure some of the agreements with some of the banks that we're going to sign with by end of this year. And my CTO is currently working for Andela. He has been part of different types of companies such as Cloudflare, Google, and other famous companies outside Africa. So basically, we have a strong founding team. And lucky enough, during this hackathon, we were actually able also to onboard about 4 developers who did a lot during the hackathon. Because before, we just had like a prototype under Marvel application. And we were able to actually done 60% of the work within 72 hours. And we've agreed to actually proceed for the coming 2 weeks. For us, it's still a hackathon until the 3rd week of December. The coming 2 weeks in this December. So we believe by end of this December, we will finalize our product with the team that we formed.
All right, Safari Wallet, thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
We don't have more time for questions. I know that Louisa and Paul and Lembit and Anthony all had questions. So there's a lot of interest in your idea, but sorry, we don't have time to be too much with each team. So it's time now to move on to the next one who made it to the top 20, and that is Team 723 Steam Hubs.
Since the pandemic had started, the students and teachers are facing lack of skills, emotional stress, and no hand-on experience. Hello everyone, this is Shima Khalid from STEAM Hubs. STEAM Hubs is a blended learning platform that works on visualizing the STEAM subjects, targeting K-12 students and teachers. The platform consists of two main components: the website where we visualize our content and educational kits. During the hackathon, we built the website mapping. So if you are a student or teacher, you can go through the website. So you can watch the content or go directly for ordering the educational kits. So if you wanted the content, you should click here. Then choose the content you want. So if you want to see the content based on your grade, or if you want to learn more about STEAM subjects, you click here. Then you choose the branch. It will take you to the activities page. Inside the activity, you will find the visualized material, step-by-step description, and finally you can find and order the related hand-on kits. Moreover, during the hackathon, we designed 2 educational kits for 2 subjects and visualized their content on the website. The kit contains tools, description book, and QR code to access the visualized material on the website, in addition to SD memory card where the student can insert it in any smartphone in the home to access the visualized material of the kit if you don't have access to internet or laptop. In the future, we are planning to add a new feature to the website where we can give mini courses for students and teachers in STEAM subjects. Website content is free, but we gain our revenue from buying the kits. The team consists of 3 members. The first member is me, Shima Khalid. I'm an AU education expert. The second member is Dua Said. She is a science communicator expert. The third member is Yasmin Tariq, who is an expert in teaching. Blended learning platform is designed to leave no one behind.
All right, thank you very much for that. Let's go now to the jury. Anthony?
Yeah, so I have a similar question as with some of the previous e-learning platforms that were presented here. So what is your idea for generating content, assuring quality assurance, etc.? So what's the content management policy?
So we are mainly depending on the expertise of our team. So the team have 2 experts in education. Me, I'm an education technology master's student at Arizona State University. Also, we have Dua, which is the science communication expert. So we have 2 types of content: informal content, where we make more visual and video tutorial experiments for kids in different STEM subjects. Also, we are depending. The second word of the content is formal education content, which is the national curriculum of Egyptian curriculum STEM subject like science and the math and so on.
All right, thank you for that. Any more questions from the jury? I don't see any more questions, so let's then move on to the next team. The next team who makes it to the top 20 is team 120, Talk M Niger.
Hey, we are a team of 4 young guys. research has shown the correlation between good governance and economic growth. And we believe that our solution can impact the quality of governance in Nigeria with at least 5% GDP growth. The impact of bad governance and lack of transparency made Nigeria's GDP drop a lot, from 11% to 2% between 2010 and 2020. Also, youth unemployment rate dropped and then grew from 4% to 8% between 2015 and 2017 because of bad governance, among many other things. And if we can drive transparency and participation in government, we can see a reduction in unemployment rate by 5% within the next 4 years. Our idea is more or less a social enterprise and largely non-for-profit. We would be seeking impact-based funding sources, CSR-focused institutions to start with. We want to enter the market in the next 6 months with a minimum viable product. Aim to contribute to democracy and inclusive society. We are technically oriented, familiar with the environment, and have some interested mentors to continue supporting us after the hackathon. And people are key stakeholders in the democratic society, and undermining people's voice is tantamount to inviting societal unrest and crisis. Social media are no appropriate platform for channeling citizens' voice due to fake news and indiscriminate use. Our solution is the missing middle.
All right, well done. Let's go to the jury now. Mari, you have a question here?
Yes, I do have a question. I was actually on the jury of the e-governance as well and of that particular topic. And I wanted to ask you like few things. First, about the team, because I really do not know your team composition. Who was it, the team? Second, what did you do in 72 hours? Was everything built in the 72 hours? And third, you mentioned it's a social business. What's your business model? How are you going to keep yourself surviving and doing the good for a longer period of time? These are my questions for you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Those are very wonderful questions. First, we are a team of 4 people. In our team, we have a full stack developer. We also have a back-end developer. And then we have a UX, and UI designer. And myself, I was the one that acted as a project manager. I am a researcher, and I am also a user experience researcher and designer. So regarding that was our composition. Then the other question you wanted to know is about our business model. Of course, we are a social enterprise because we are for non-for-profit, but we have identified a couple of options through which we can raise a fund. For example, impact-based institutions, and getting funding sources from these kind of institutions, as well as corporate social responsibility, and as well working with some NGOs and for future plan, we also identify kind of advertisement, because we will be having some partners that will be interested in our solution. Yes, during the 72 hours hackathon, it was quite engaging, it was quite intensive for us. Our idea was built from the scratch. We did the mock-up, the prototype, the development, everything from the scratch. So it was very engaging for all of us.
Super good to hear that.
Yeah, maybe let's move on to the jury, to someone else. So thank you for that. I think we had in the jury some questions from, I think it was Anthony.
Yes, so you mentioned that your platform is supposed to act as a link between government and citizen society. So one thing I was wondering is, do you have an idea on how to establish, or have you already established some relationship with the government institutions so that they would take your feedback into account, which is reported to this platform. Have you had any interactions with government entities, or do you plan to have some?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. I must let you know that Nigeria population is so massive. Nigeria has 36 states and a federal capital territory, and is comprised of 774 local government areas and many worse. Of course, we have identified a very few states that believe in what democratic governance should be. That is government of the people, by the people, for the people. And we intend to start our idea with these people whom we have identified as willing and open to embrace what should be an ideal inclusive society. Beside that, there are existing non-governmental bodies advocating for different issues that has to do with societal issue. And there are some NGOs that are also kind of interested in what we are doing. So for us, we see ourselves as being ready because we are quite motivated, even after this hackathon, whatever the outcome is, to continue to push this idea.
Thank you for that. Louisa, do you have a quick question?
My quick question was, it was mentioned the issue of fake news. How do they ensure the credibility of the information that is going to be posted in the platform?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me let you know also that for us, we have three layers of verification. From the video that we demo, we only show the first level, where the admin has to look at the report that was being received. In the first place, does this report align with our terms of use? We don't want to be involved in anything fake or controversial, because this is the kind of bridge we want to build. So that's the first level, and that is when the admin approved. So initially, the system shows that the report has been received because it passed the first level of verification. Then you also see an indicator that the report has been verified. So this is consequent upon us doing further kind of analysis using AI-enabled tools.
All right, I'm sorry, but we need to move on. Thank you so much for those answers, and good luck to your projects and in this final. But we really need to move on to the next teams. So we have 6 teams left to present. The next one is going to be team 428, The Artisan. Let's look at their video.
I'm from the team, The Artisans. A few days ago, I wanted to use the toilet. I got there, I saw that the entire toilet was waterlogged. Something was broken. I tried to fix it. What's happening? The next thing I discovered that there's nothing I could do but to reach out to friends and family. Hey, do you know a good plumber? Do you know a good plumber? It took me a while. It was difficult to get a plumber, just a plumber, to come and fix my toilet. I wish there was a platform I could just reach out to and call from a database of plumbers with ratings. During this hackathon, from zero, because the entire team came together during the hackathon, we were able to come up with a web platform where you can reach out to artisans in various categories. On the web platform, you can look for artisans closest to your locality, and you call them based on the number that will be displayed. After they render their service, they will be rated, and other people can use that rating to know how efficient those artisans are. The impact of this is that people can now easily, from the platform, from our web platform, reach out to artisans database and get the one closest to their locality. And for the artisans, they are now gainfully employed. At the end of the day, there will be revenue generated from this sector from the digital platform. Our web platform will connect artisans to their direct consumers through this web platform. the World Economic Forum stated that $34 billion of annual revenue comes from artisans. The narrative will change for Africans.
Now to the jury for questions. Mari, you have a question in the studio?
Yes, cool project. I always like to see more gig economy projects popping up here and there. Talk slightly about the monetization model, and then perhaps again lost in the beginning, but about your team and what are you going to do on Monday? Are you serious about your project?
Yes, I am. I am very serious about the project. My team, my name is Morgan, and I am a data scientist. I've worked in the ICT platform for a while. We have a marketer in our team, business development. Then we have the web developer. Currently, even during the hackathon, we bought a domain and an hosting platform. And we are continuing the project all the way. It's a dream come true for me.
How?
I hope I have answered. What's the other question you asked?
Thank you.
Hello? Okay.
Louisa?
My question is regarding the certification of the artisans that are going to be part of the platform. If there is any plan to have a quality symbol for the artisans, or it's a...
Yeah. The way it's going to work is the artisans that are going to be when we go live to production, we are going to work with the various bodies. Nigeria is the starting point. That associations that have different, most of the artisans, the carpenters, the plumbers, they all have their associations. We'll start with them. Then there will be rating for every artisan. After the services, the render services, we'll rate them. So, and comments are made on the users who make comments on them, stating this artisan did the work very well, excellent plumber. So next time, if you are trying to call for a plumber, you would have seen people's comments and rating for such artisan.
All right, and I think we had a question from Anthony.
Yes. So my primary question here is, what's your strategy for differentiating yourselves from the platforms which currently perform a similar aim of basically connecting people who can do a certain thing to people who need this certain thing being done? So how are you different, and how are you going to market this to your customer base?
The artisan, are you there?
Hello? Yeah, I just came back. I just came back. The network just disconnected. So I'm with you.
So the question was, how are you going to differentiate from others, right, Anthony?
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to be differentiated. Currently, I don't think we have any platform like that in Nigeria. And I don't think today I got a call from somebody in Kenya, one of the people in Hackathon, that they will need such in Kenya. So I don't think it's existing. I don't think I have a competition right now. I have looked for a platform like that. I've not seen.
Okay, thank you very much for that, the artisan.
Thank you.
Let's then move on to the next one. And Mari, do you want to say who the next is?
Yes, sure. The next one is team number 902, Elite.
Hello everyone, I'm Chama from Team Elite, and I am one in an 80% population of small-scale farmers in Africa who have been inadvertently affected by the pandemic. The problem is markets have restrictions and farmers have not been able to connect with other farmers or their consumers. So how do we connect these farmers despite language barriers, a pandemic, location, and the unavailability of the internet and smartphones? Rabai. Rabai bridges this gap by providing a platform for knowledge sharing between small-scale farmers and other players of the agricultural value chain. How does it work? A farmer dials a USSD code and is able to send an SMS or a voicemail in their preferred language. And with our effective matching system, we get connected to other farmers on our platform. And within minutes, we get an SMS with the solution. Pretty easy. Farmers with smartphones aren't left out, as we have an app and a website where seamless interactions can occur. We have talked to various farmers in Nigeria, Africa, who believe our business is the solution they need.
So no visa for them. Alright, so no one see anybody from.
Our business runs with the societal marketing concept and a multi-vendor marketplace where farmers pay 10 naira per SMS sent with a premium subscription of 250 naira. Those on an app pay a premium fee of 1,000 naira to sell or advertise their products. My team and I are dedicated to harness these interactions to expose the farmers to a larger market, help visibility to government loans and private sponsors, and ensure an unbridged flow of information for farmers across Africa. In the long run, we'll be able to understand climate patterns, disease outbreaks, and agro-product pricing, which will enable the government and international bodies effectively form policies. Rabai is made up of data scientists, agriculturists, marketers, data engineers, and business strategists from different countries who are ready to make this dream a reality. Rabai is the solution to connecting farmers without borders and is the future for food security. Thank you.
All right, well done, the elite. Let's go now to the jury for questions. Peter Westerbakke.
Yes, so very good presentation, very clear. As usual, I would like to understand a little bit more what was actually done during the hackathon, and then if you could also talk a little bit about the team that you have working on this.
Okay, sir. Thank you all for the opportunity. Okay, during the hackathon, we designed an auto-translation API that was deployed over the cloud. This enables farmers to send their SMS in whatever language it may be. And we also designed our app and a website. But after the hackathon, we would fine-tune the app to make the user experience more sustainable. Yes. And our team is made up of natural language processors. We have data and software engineers. We have agriculturists and data scientists from Nigeria and Germany who work together to make this possible.
All right. Any more questions? Mari, have a question?
I always have a question, but I don't want to take the honor away from everybody else asking questions. My question is, how do you get the farmers to use your platform?
Okay, we're going to partner with international and local bodies such as IITA, which is the International Institute for Tropical Agriculture, and FRIN, which are research institutes. And also in my University of Ibadan, we have agricultural extension agents who are based in these locales and normally communicate with farmers in their local language. So they would act as ambassadors for us in this local governments to register the farmers on our platform. That is our means of registering farmers.
All right. Thank you very much for that. We have 4 projects left that are going to make it to the top 20. Let's go now to the next one, which is 629 Ubo.
Hello, we are Team Ubo. Our project's idea came from my personal experience. In fact, my brother is on the autism spectrum, and his treatment was interrupted due to the closure of specialized centers during the pandemic. There are only 2 options for these children. They either regress because of the discontinuation of their treatment, or they follow their treatment properly and become an active member in society. Our aim is to avoid the first and further guarantee the second. Today, we would like to introduce you to Ubo, our intelligent companion dedicated to children with autism spectrum disorder. UBO helps reinforce children's learning and maintain their progress through a game console. We've brought our design and software architecture, and during these past 3 days we've developed our app and website and finalized our hardware.
This solution is dedicated to children diagnosed with autism, from the early childhood to their integration into school, between 3 and 12 years old. These activities are accessible everywhere thanks to a transportable solution that consists of an integration tablet holder and a controller. UBO contains several adapted educational activities and offers several levels of difficulty, which under the supervision of specialists.
We have designed the first activity suggested by a doctor where the child has to identify an emotion. This activity helps the autistic children recognize facial expressions, and we intend to develop more activities after the hackathon. And we have a profile page. You can connect to your account and you can find detailed statistics about the child's progress, and you can also visualize the statistic of each activity. We have developed a landing page where customers can get more details about our project. We are a group of engineering students and we believe that technology could help children in need.
Our business model is simple. We will sell the console hardware and we will offer premier educational activities. We've reached out to doctors and professionals, listened to concerned parents and did a comparative analysis to the existing projects in order to provide the most efficient solution for these children. We dream of changing millions of lives. We dream of an inclusive, egalitarian society, which does not let go of its children and gives them hope. Take a step towards their world. Vote UBO.
All right, well done, Team UBO. Let's now go to the jury. And Lembit, you have a question.
Weekend, because I see a full hardware model there already and quite good content. So what was done over the weekend? And the other part of it is which are the solutions that are the biggest competitor or that are doing similar things, and how do you differentiate from them? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. We actually, before the hackathon, we actually contacted some doctors, and they helped us to design the educational activities. And we made the software infrastructure architecture. So we focused on this weekend to develop our website, our mobile app, and print the console with 3D printers.
All right. There's also a question online. I think it's Paul.
Yes, thank you very much. So I think it's a very interesting idea, and I see the inclusive side of this business model. But when it comes to the audience, you have a very specific audience for your product. So my big question is, how do you want to reach them? And another question, could you maybe present your team a little bit, because I didn't see any of your team members. Thank you.
Okay. We intend to reach our audience. Actually, the parents who they will buy our solution. So we will reach them online, like in social media. We will do some conferences to reach these parents, and we have partners, doctors partners and medical partners. We are already contacted some organizations that take care of autistic children, so we can reach our audience.
And a little bit about the team?
Our team. So we are a group of engineering students. I am the web developer and the team leader. We have a designer, a mobile app developer, and a data scientist.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Team UBO. So we're getting close to the last three teams that are going to make it to the top 20. So it's getting very, very exciting. It's time to introduce Team 605, Umbrella Tree.
Did you know that only 20% of the African tech workforce are women? Hi, I'm Tina from Umbrella Tree Collab. We are solving the lack of representation of women in the African tech sector. In emerging tech, women hold only 1/5 of executive positions and are disproportionately affected by youth unemployment. They often face discrimination in the workplace, lack self-esteem, and struggle to see themselves as part of the sector. For this, we have created a platform for African women to enhance their skills in emerging technologies like blockchain, AI, and technopreneurship. We will also match our trainees to companies in Estonia, Rwanda, and Nigeria, working closely with the employers. During this hackathon, we built a prototype. Here, showing the dashboard with a selection of programs and application submission. Learning progress can be tracked on the trainee's profile. Marketplace enables job search and application. To sustain our project, we will be funded by institutional entities and private entities. Our pricing model starts at $9.99 per month, and we will also charge our partner employers. We plan to empower 5,000 African women by 2025. According to our survey, 93% of them are already interested. We will continue developing this project through curriculum implementation, training, and recruitment of our trainees. Our team's cultural diversity, ranging from Rwanda to Estonia to Nigeria, has truly enriched our experience of this hackathon. We hope to change the face of African tech.
All right, well done with that presentation. Let's go to the jury. Anthony?
This is obviously a very important issue. One thing I was wondering is, who are your largest competitors and how do you aim to differentiate yourselves from them?
So our current competitors that we've been looking at, there are other companies and platforms that offer digital skills education. One, for example, Andela. And how we aim to differentiate is that we focus especially on women's education and on emerging technologies. So we wanted this to become, in a way, a niche. For example, to offer women who already have programming skills to some level, to further their level, further their emerging tech skills, so they can move to the next levels in their career. And another idea was to offer a more basic level programming courses as well. So people, women who are interested in emerging tech, they can go through basic programming courses and then go to the next AI and other tech courses. I hope I answered the question.
I think you did. Lembit?
Thank you.
Yes, my question was, it's actually a very important topic, and once you figure it out, to teach the rest of the world, because it's an important issue worldwide. And my question was whether another platform is needed for this, or it's actually, is that something that it's more actually content related, of making the topics of IT and entrepreneurship and more appealing to the women involved?
I'm sorry, there was a lot of echo. Can you repeat the first part of the question? Wait, maybe it was about creating web content that makes the curriculums attractive. Was that the question?
Lembit, can you go again?
Yes, the question was, do you need actually a platform to share the information, or it's actually more of the content, or creating the content and you utilizing other platforms that are already existing in use?
Mm-hmm. So our idea is to create our own content to involve AI, IoT, emerging tech experts to develop training courses and programs, and eventually to receive certification for this program, so people can actually use them and put it in their CV, and it can be recognized as a high-level course. At the moment, we haven't started that process yet, but this is in our plan. That's what we wished to achieve. And of course, we're open to partnering with other companies who offer similar courses. If they wish to offer their course through our platform, we can think about it. But we want more to have our own faculty in a way, or a more personal approach.
All right. Thank you very much for that umbrella tree. Let's now move on to the last two teams that are making it to the top 20. And the next one is team 917, Zajka. Zaika.
Hi, I'm Kasia from the Zaika team, and our project helps small farmers to manage their water resources. Okay, so let's start. According to the UN, in 30 years, we need to double the production of food in Africa. But because of drought and water scarcity, it gets harder to even sustain today's level. And the most threatened by it are small farms with limited resources. But water scarcity is not simply a matter of not enough water. It's about smart use of water resources. That's why we created MyYod, a stick that you put into the ground, and it tells you when to water the field. So the farmers can optimize their water resources. We built it in the last 72 hours. In the bottom part, there is a sensor that measures soil moisture. Through an app or SMS, you get a simple message: water or don't water the field. Here you can see our sensor responding to the changes in moisture. Our business model is that we will start the hardware and charge a monthly fee for an app or SMS subscription. It should be around $3. We already have spoken with 3 farmers who want to start testing our solution. So what's the impact? Well, we created a cheap solution for small farmers. The cost of MyYod in the mass production should be around only $15. And farmers can get information through an app or SMS, so they don't need an access to the internet. This means we can help 33 million of small farmers in Africa to save their water. And after the hackathon, we want to start the pilot phase and work closely with farmers to create the best solution for them. And our team can make it happen. We have an IoT engineer, biotechnologist, developer, AI magician, and a business strategist. Let's save every drop of water together. If you're interested, please go to our website, and we are very happy to talk with investors about opportunities.
All right, well done, Team 917 Zaika. Any questions from the jury? I see Anthony.
Yes, so one question from my end. So about maintenance of those devices. So let's say one breaks down for some reason, this one or another. So what's your approach to fixing this maintenance refunds? What's your idea about that?
Okay. Hi, thank you everyone for choosing us. I can't stop, smiling because we're so happy that we are, and you kept us waiting so long. Okay, so back to the maintenance part. So the thing is that that the construction is very simple. The bottom part is just one stick with the sensor at the end. So there are not like a lot of particles you put together. There's the upper part, the head, and the bottom. So right now we are also in the process of testing like what are the things that should break down first, and like how many extra parts we should include. But the thing is that because this device is so cheap, we can add an extra elements just to get it changed, and it should be very simple because I said there are just 2 parts: a sensor at the bottom and the upper part.
All right, Peter Westerbacke.
Yeah, so I'm not like an expert in this domain, but how is this problem addressed in other parts of the world? So, how is this done, let's say in Europe, when you're growing stuff? So how do you address this? What kind of solutions are there, and what problem are you actually solving?
Yep. So the thing is that the solutions present on the European market are quite similar to the one in, for example, South Africa, when we have our go-to-market strategy. So the thing is that you have complex irrigation systems that require a lot of technology, complex apps, meaning they're quite expensive, from several $100s to even thousands of dollars. And what we wanted to, and most of the farmers are small farmers, especially also in Poland where we originate, but as well as in Africa. 80% of all farmer, I won't use the word holdings, but all of farms available there are small farms, less than 2 hectares. So the thing is that most of the solutions so far are quite expensive and very technology and very advanced in the technology on the technology level. But what we wanted to do is offer something simple and cheap, because this is what most farmers need. Some of them don't even have smartphones. They just have a phone that receives SMS messages, and this is the great majority that isn't much addressed with today's.
To the next question, Luisa, very quickly.
Was answered with the previous question.
Okay, very good. So if there's no further questions, let's move on to the next and final team that makes it to our top 20. And again, if you didn't make it to the top 20, don't feel disappointed. The quality level was very good. So the jury had a very tough time picking the top 20 teams. But let's look at the last video, which comes from team 214, Goat Cash.
Hello, my name is Masimba Biriwasha, and I'm team leader of Goat Cash. Goats are indeed big business. They're valued at over $500 billion to $1 trillion globally. In Zimbabwe alone, goats have the potential to add $5 billion to the national economy, but a lot of work needs to be done. In June 2020, my team and I were excited to launch Goat Orders as an online and physical butchery, but we soon realized that there was a problem, that farmers lack knowledge. Farmers lack knowledge about how to keep high-quality goats. They lack knowledge about the market, and they're at the mercy of middlemen. And this is where Goat Cash comes in. Goat Cash is designed as a goat value chain management system that is powered by blockchain and smart contracts. When farmers register onto our platform, they agree onto certain standards of how to raise goats. We expect in the first year to target about 100,000 farmers. We will charge farmers a subscription fee to be part of this platform. We expect to transact about 50,000 goats valued at almost 2 million in revenue. Once we prove the model, we'll scale it up to other countries. Goats can indeed change lives. We are calling upon you to really support this idea. My team is made up of 4 Zimbabweans, including 2 marketers and 2 developers, and we have 1 Nigerian marketer. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for that, Goat Cash. And now let's go to the jury for questions. I think we have a question from Paul.
Yes, so I'm going to start. Thank you very much for your presentation. So basically one question is, have you already talked to farmers, and how do you think that you can address their needs? So, because this is a very specific product, and I'm just wondering whether the farmers know that you are there, first of all, and if they know your service, whether they actually need your service.
Do we have Team Goat Cash on the Zoom?
Hello. So I was saying that right now I'm actually at the butchery. So there's huge demand for goat meat in Zimbabwe. It's very healthy, sustainable meat. So I'm already in contact with farmers around the country. So there is great need. I've experienced it firsthand that farmers need to be equipped with better skills, knowledge, and tools to be able to take care of goats. The opportunity is huge, but there's some basics that need to be taken care of, which I'm proposing in the GotCash platform.
All right. Any more questions from the jury?
I think my question is still along the same lines. How are you going to get the farmers to use your platform? Have you thought about that as well?
Sorry, can I repeat that question? You said, how am I going to get farmers to use the platform?
Yes. How is it happening still?
So if I got you right, so as I said, I'm already in the GOT space. I'm running a project called GOT Orders, which we founded at the height of COVID-19, only to realize that there was a problem in the supply chain. And yet this is a small animal with huge opportunity, because research shows that there is huge opportunity because, as you would know, GOT is a multi-use animal. So we're talking from the manure to fertilizer to milk to cheese to chocolate to drinks to leather. So there's huge opportunity which can come out of GOT. So
all right, and the last question from Louisa.
Yes, who will pay for this? Is it the consumers? Is it the farmers? Is it both? How do you plan to finance your initiative?
So we're a commercial enterprise, but with social good at heart. So I don't want to miss the profit-making aspect of this. We are in this to make a profit, but at the same time changing our society. So farmers, we're going to expect them to pay a small subscription fee to the platform, because when they interact on the platform, they're adding value to their GOTs through the blockchain and smart contracting. They're adding value to their GOTs so that they can offload to the market at a higher rate. As soon as they offload the GOTs to the market using our platform, we're going to be charging a commission. So at every level, we're going to be monetizing this. It's a problem that we're solving. The interesting thing about the GOT space is every problem that you solve that is in the GOT value chain is the potential for making profit whilst also changing society.
All right. Thank you very much, GoatCash. I've invested in gold. I've invested in startups. I've never invested in goats. Maybe I'll consider that in the next year. And that's it, everyone. We are done with the top 20. Well done to all the teams who made it to the top. So I do not envy the jury right now, because they have a very tough decision to make on picking up the best teams out of this top 20. So what's going to happen now is we will take the jury into a separate room. We will spend some time deliberating. We will figure out who comes out on top of these teams, and we will join you all for the awards ceremony, which is going to begin in about an hour and a half or more, actually. I think it starts at 7
p.m. GMT 2, yeah.
So 7 p.m. GMT plus 2 is the final awards ceremony. Until then, you can sit back, relax. Your job is done. You just have to wait for the jury to do their job, which, again, is not an easy task. But it was amazing to see all the projects, all the ideas. So well done. First of all, a big round of applause to everyone who made it to the top 20 and all of you who presented and put effort into your projects. Well done. And we will see you at 7 p.m.
Yeah.